good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, I report on hand washing to house arrest and a unique parallel between targets who are victims of cyber technology and COVID-19 on the Republic Broadcasting Network. I just wanted to qualify something. The term targeted individual has been used for decades. But what I would like to say is targeted individual. Psychologically, it separates you from everyone and makes you an individual instead of like a targeted team or whatever. But the special rapporteur from the United Nations has declared that you are a victim of cyber technology or you are a cyber target. So that is something to think about. You can call into the show live and ask a question at 800-313-9443. Or you can listen at 605-313-0163. Now, we have something interesting today. For those of you who watch it, the Schumann resonance is at 7. That is the first time I've seen it in a nominal position in weeks. It's actually below normal. Now, I'm going to give you a short quote by Eric Thompson, who explains what it is in a short paragraph. Every second, a multitude of pulses travel around the world in this unique resonant chamber between Earth and the ionosphere, sending colluding signals to all microorganisms. These signals couple us to the Earth's magnetic field. Named after their discoverer, these Schumann resonances drive the harmonizing pulse for life in our world. Again, that was by Eric Thompson. For those of you who don't realize it, if you go into space without a tone generator that produces this wavelength, you will eventually become sick and die. And this has been proven in university studies. But tonight, I'd like to look at another signal or set of signals or resonances that we have to deal with, and that is 5G. And the reason I'm taking a very close look at it, we have a physician who has already declared, according to his observations, patients are not dying of viral pneumonia. They are being starved of oxygen, as though they were taken up in a plane that was pressurized, and they slowly let the pressure out of the plane. So one thing microwaves will do is inhibit the body's ability to absorb oxygen. So I'd like you to think about that. And while you're thinking about that, you can look at China and you see people walking along as if they were fine and they drop dead. So, with that, I will say that China has introduced 5G, and they don't care where they put the towers. They don't care about people at all. So that will give you something to think about. The relativity between 5G and COVID-19. Everything that we have can be taken from us. But one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way in this life. And that's a quote from Viktor Frankl. We have many choices. Just because we're fighting an unseen enemy in the form of a virus doesn't mean we have to relinquish every shred of our humanity, our common sense, or our freedoms to a nanny state that thinks it can do a better job of keeping us safe. I am not a doctor, so I'm going to give you my opinion on something based on life experience and what I've seen. If I was a virus and I were looking for a place to go, and I found this nice, warm, moist face mask, I think that would be a great place to land and maybe take root until something better comes along. So when you take your masks off, if you've made them or sewed them or they're out of the box, throw them away. Make sure you throw them in a place that is safe for you, or soak them or hit them with bleach. And they say that this virus does not like heat. It would seem to me that your nostrils being 98.6 and very moist wouldn't appeal to the virus then. So they must be talking about something else. How about ultraviolet? Nobody has mentioned taking an ultraviolet wand and waving it over you when you come in the house, while obviously guarding your eyes. But nobody's brought that up, and I'm trying to understand why. If you have a beverage that you create in your family, as we do in our family, my brother and his wife make cider, and they make 9,000 to 10,000 gallons a year. And they thought they were going to have to stop making it, but what they did, they found out they could pass the jugs of cider underneath an ultraviolet lamp, intense, and it would pass the test. So, with this, I will say, or I will ask a question: is this virus vulnerable to ultraviolet rays. Because you can buy a bar light that you can plug into the wall and just pass it over yourself like someone would do with a device before you go into court looking for metal. So ask your doctor about it. Ask your health officials about it. And maybe it is something that we can do. So let me get back to our topic here. We're talking about 5G and COVID-19 and how we saw people just dropping dead, seemingly walking along and all of a sudden just dropping dead. And I have already mentioned that any type of microwave will inhibit the body's ability to absorb oxygen. And this comes from an MD. And these are his opinions. So he doesn't believe that these ventilators help. As a matter of fact, he thinks that they stress the lungs out. So that's something that we have to ask. Write these questions down. Ask your health officials. I'm going to be doing the same thing. I just found out about this. I have not yet had a chance to make the phone calls necessary. But you can bet that tomorrow and this evening, I will be doing just that. We also want to consider the government. The government never cedes power willingly. Neither should we. Every day brings a drastic new set of restrictions from government bodies. Most have been delivered by way of executive orders at the local, state, and federal level that are eager to flex their muscles for the so-called good of the populace. I haven't seen them flex anything for the good of the populace except for their wallets as of late. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. But these lobbyists collect money to do their job. They're not just in there for the hell of it. So this is where we run the risk of this whole fly-by-night operation going completely off the rails. They want us to attempt an experiment in social distancing. That's a good idea. Everybody who is on the planet, I think, realizes that social distancing is a good idea. Now, this is in order to flatten the curve of this virus because we cannot afford to risk overwhelming the hospitals and exposing the most vulnerable in the nation to unavoidable loss of life scenarios. So when you are sitting in a bar, if there is still one open, with your friends, think about bringing that virus home to your grandmother. There is, however, a fine line between strongly worded suggestions for citizens to voluntarily stay at home and strong-armed house arrest orders with penalties in place for non-compliance. How close are we to martial law? Well, I think we're very close, and I'll tell you why. If you leave Massachusetts and attempt to come back, and you don't have a damn good reason for leaving, you will be subject to a 14-day quarantine. I understand that many of the other states have adopted the same policy. And one state, in particular, Rhode Island, has closed its borders to New Yorkers. If you have a New York plate and you enter the state of Rhode Island, I am told that you will be in quarantine of the undesirable kind. More than 3/4 of all Americans have now been ordered to stay at home, and that number is growing as more states fall in line. Now we have Arkansas. Arkansas has decided that there's no problem. All of their people are going to work using safe distancing and going back home. Now, I don't have Arkansas's numbers in front of me, but I don't believe they're very high. But again, many times I get information 5 minutes before we air, and I really don't have the time to get into it, but I will. Schools have been canceled, or at least the physical classes, many for the remainder of the academic year. Many of the states have banned gatherings of more than 10 people. Okay, folks, we have to go to commercial. Thank you for listening.
Folks, we're living in a world the likes of which we've never perceived any clearer than we do now. The plan for global governance has been in the works for generations and would have likely been achieved by now but for the fact that the globalists left open their Achilles heel. With all their tools, Federal Reserve System, fiat currency, no child left behind, and then Common Core education introduced to our schools to dumb us down, vaccines, pharmaceuticals to lobotomize us, GMO foods, insertion of compromised or bought and paid for politicians, judges, mainstream media propaganda, all pieced together like a puzzle designed to ultimately bring the world under submission. But with all their strategy, they forgot one thing: knowledge. And knowledge is power. With knowledge, their bombardment is nullified. Folks, with that, as brilliant and knowledgeable as you've become, among the wisest audience of any radio audience in the world, and you are, I want you to take a moment to reflect and ask yourself, how much of that knowledge did I obtain from Republic Broadcasting Network? How high has my consciousness been raised since I've been a listener? How fast am I now able to discriminate truth from fake news by being a Republic Broadcasting listener? How clear am I now able to see the world since I've been listening to RBN? Ask yourselves those questions, folks. Then ask yourself, what is that knowledge worth to me? Like my morning coffee, how would I survive without it? A voice of truth in a sea of lies. Do we not all need to make sure it survives? Like public broadcasting, we are now finding we can only survive with listener support. Censorship, advertisers being attacked, truth itself being attacked. It's the only way through this. We at Republic Broadcasting humbly ask you to become a supporter. Look at your budget and make a determination of what Republic Broadcasting is worth to you and what you can afford on a monthly basis. Go to republicbroadcasting.org and pledge $20, $30, $40, $50, if possible, $100 a month or more if it's affordable. Click the donate button and become a regular monthly donor. Assure both us and yourself that Republic Broadcasting truth will continue to flow like that morning coffee. The network thanks you.
Don't regret growing old. It's a privilege denied to many. Heart disease is taking our youth from us. Young people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond are dying needlessly. One of the hardest messages I've ever had to deliver is to convince people that something natural like Extendivite should be taken as a preventative measure. I'm sure you heard an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Extendivite is that ounce. Take Extendivite for 1 year and see what your doctor has to say and how much better you feel. Herbs take time to address the problem. It took years of life to have a problem. Give Extendivite 1 year to fix the problem. Don't wait until it's too late. Call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or visit us on Amazon.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Good evening, once again from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, we are discussing 5G, COVID-19, and a very unique parallel. Now, many hundreds and thousands over the years have died from being targeted by, like the coronavirus, an unseen enemy. The difference between coronavirus and being targeted is the time. You can be targeted for 10, 20, 30 years. So if you break down the total number of cases, deaths, nobody's recovered. In the United States, I'm willing to bet they won't be too far off, because many cases have just been blown off as, oh, well, they just got burned to death. Or, oh, they've just gone crazy or committed suicide. The suicide rates in the United States, we will all learn, closely parallel targeted deaths in the United States. The only one to exceed would be military guys coming home. God bless them all. But what I'm trying to say is, this coronavirus is unseen. It snuck up on us, and we're fighting it as a nation. But when it comes to cyber torture, targeted individuals, We are just starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel now. Why? Because of media. We have to take a look at the other enemies. 5G, as I mentioned, does react with the human body. To get back to our state analysis here, at least 3 states, Nevada, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, have ordered non-essential businesses to close. And I think just about everyone has done that. In D.C., residents face 90 days in jail and a $5,000 fine if they leave their homes during this outbreak. Residents of Maryland, Hawaii, and Washington State also risk severe penalties of up to a year in prison and a $5,000 fine for violating the stay-at-home orders. Violators in Alaska could face jail time and up to $25,000 in fines. Okay, we have a caller, Andy. Come on in, Andy.
Hey, how you doing, my friend? A lot of these people, knowing that these fines and stuff are out there, let's go out in groups. Don't go out by yourself. I watched over in California where a surfer dude who was out in the ocean, and the Coast Guard swarmed in on him, or the sheriffs or whatever, and took him away. He got a $1,000 fine, and he was imprisoned and whatnot. I also saw another video of a guy who was just playing catch with his daughter and his wife out in the park, nobody else around them, and they also got fined $1,000 and thrown in jail. So we need to go out in groups, I think. I mean, if we got to be strategic, if we can't all get up off our behinds and go take care of this all at once, then those of us who decide that we do want to go out, I think we need to go ahead and grab some friends and go out and do what we want to do. And if the cops get a little abrasive or something, then eventually the next time we come out, we bring a little bit of our own firepower with us and see how that works out. You know what I'm saying? At this point, it's past a joke. This stuff's been coming on forever. And you are a targeted individual.
That's correct. We have to go to station identification. Andy, please hold on. Thank you for listening, folks.
You are tuned in to the Republic Broadcasting Network. Visit our website by going to republicbroadcasting.org.
Did you know that you can be tracked and traced when you're online? With identity theft and cybercrimes on the rise, your passwords, your identity, and even your physical location can be revealed to complete strangers. Would you like to surf the internet anonymously and not have to worry about these threats? Well, now you can by visiting patriotinternet.com. For about $2 per month, patriotinternet.com will conceal your IP address and your physical location, allowing you to browse the web, send emails, and instant message anonymously. patriotinternet.com will bypass filters, block sites, and keyword blocking. You can also bypass logging by your router and your ISP. With patriotinternet.com, there is no software to install and uses 128-bit encryption for your protection. When using wireless hotspots, patriotinternet.com shields your information from identity thieves and is compatible with Windows, Mac, and Linux. Protect your identity and your freedom with anonymous internet access from patriotinternet.com. Visit patriotinternet.com today.
Many people tell us about their experience with Extendivite. Just listen to what Glenn has to say.
Prior to taking it, I had diabetic neuropathy. The Extendivite reduced that significantly. Acid reflux was reduced. I had athlete's foot, very severe, trimmed that down to about 75% dandruff, almost completely gone. I had occipital neuralgia at the base of my skull. I was having migraines reduced by about 90%. Heart palpitations, my heart would kind of stall out. I would skip a beat, very uncomfortable. And when walking from downstairs going to sleep, by the time I got to the bedroom, which is just one flight of stairs, my heart was pounding, coming out of my chest. My vision was blurry. This completely solved that problem. Great product. Thanks.
Tell us your story. Get Extendivite today. Call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Homeowners, if your lender has gone out of business or sold your transaction to another lender or servicer, you may be the victim of a wrongful foreclosure, resulting in the loss of your home. If you've already lost your home, are in foreclosure, or even in good standing, you can challenge the mortgage transaction's illegal issue, and your property can be restored to you, and your foreclosure can be stopped or reversed, and the mortgage transaction declared unenforceable. State laws, U.S. title codes, the Uniform Commercial Codes, and U.S. Supreme Court rulings have upheld that defective mortgage documentations can reverse or stop foreclosures and enforce property title claims in favor of the homeowner. We are having successes in stopping the process of foreclosure, the enforcement of the foreclosure judgments, the sale of property, and evictions after the sale. We are not attorneys, and we don't give legal advice. We are a professional team of legal researchers, providing forensic mortgage audits and expert witnesses. We have the knowledge to produce the evidence and enforce laws regarding your legal issues. We've been in business for 12 years without a complaint. Consultations are free, and we provide a free title search to confirm if your mortgage has legal defects. Please call 855-253-3748. 855, the number 2, keep it today.
Just inside the doorway. Use it only in emergency. Better you should pray to God, the Father and the Spirit will guide you and protect you from up here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen. Tonight, I report on hand washing to house arrest and a very unique parallel between targets who are victims of cyber technology and COVID-19 on the Republic Broadcasting Network. I encourage you to call into the show live and ask a question at 800-313-9443. That's 800-313-9443. Or you can listen at 605-313-0163. Okay, we have Andy from Texas. Go ahead, Andy.
Okay, so, I mean, like I was saying at the end of that segment, you're all about the targeted person and whatnot, and I really enjoy hearing that. Not that I enjoy what's happening to these people, but I enjoy hearing it because, you know, I've got my own questions in my own mind, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. There's a whole bunch of people with this COVID-19, this whole scenario going down, that are actually targeted right now. This is a several-tier operation that they're running here. Even maybe some of these things that they didn't think they could accomplish are probably going to be accomplished for them. They might not have thought it all the way through, but a lot of things are happening. The biggest recipients of this PSYOP that they're doing right now are those lemmings that are falling right into it. And so those people were targeted too, but they were targeted with the inability to seek the truth And so they believe what's on the TV. They're into their video games. They're into social networking and whatnot. They're not paying attention to the reality. So these people are the biggest targets that we have currently right now. And that they're also the biggest threat to the rest of us, because they're the ones who are going to get whatever, because they're a majority. Believe it or not, you would call them lefties, call them Democrats, whatever you want to call them. They're the majority in this society. And so they're going to call out for all these different vaccines and reparations and these new lockdowns. I mean, look at Seattle. Seattle called for their own lockdown. They actually called for the governor to bring in the National Guard and lock themselves down. And that's such a liberal. I know this state. I was born and raised there. So, yes, it's a very liberal state. It wasn't for a while, but it is now. All these different people are going to call for their own lockdown, and they're going to, just like, if you want to go biblical here, just like in the Bible, they said most people will ask for the serpent's name on their hand. They're going to ask for it. And these people really think, I've been out in public, and it's just a small area where I live in, and I'm in California. I'm from Texas, but I'm working in California. And just the people I've seen in the small area that I live in, which includes a small town, they're wearing these masks, and they're just going crazy as though as if this is something off the charts or whatnot. My biggest concern is they did go through a lot of hysteria about commandeering football stadiums, baseball stadiums, civic centers, vacant parking lots, the parking lot of the hospital. And they went through all this to set up all these beds. So these people who went in and showed cameras of empty hospitals, they also showed us a bunch of empty beds. And I can't think for 1 minute that, like, you never let a good problem go unused. So there's a lot of beds that need to be filled. And my biggest premise here now is that I actually think that these people are going to actually release a bio, or this 5G is going to kick on, because it does seem like there's a lot of activity going on in the 5G and whatnot while we're all locked up in our houses and stuff. I really don't know exactly what's going on, but I'll tell you straight up, we're all targeted right now. I mean, some of us are targeted worse because I've heard your show, so I know this for a fact, but we're all targeted right now, and I think the lemmings are the ones in trouble, which makes us in trouble, those of us who know, because they're going to lead us right into a trap. And in a democracy, 51% takes down 49%. Democracy is two wolves and a lamb wondering what we're going to have for dinner. And so there you have it. Anyway, that's my thing. I really appreciate you letting me talk for a minute.
Thank you very much, Andy. And so what's it like in Texas? I was just curious. What's the biggest thing you've seen in Texas? The empty beds or?
No. Okay, so I just said a minute ago that I'm from Texas, but I'm over in California.
Oh, okay.
And California, yeah. So, but I can tell you, California is just a joke right now. They've got every channel, every news station. It doesn't matter what you're watching. You could be into a good Columbo movie or whatever you're watching. Boom! Here comes the coronavirus. They keep slamming it in your face. And thank God there's something called TuneIn Radio where I can get my RBN fix all day. But it's just off the hook. And I'm not exactly sure where you said on this, but you've got to know that this is a target on everybody here, okay? There are several people still being targeted with EMF and radio waves and whatnot like that. There's probably still going on because they're still flying chemtrails over this neighborhood when we should be in a no-fly zone. I mean, whatever, you know.
Yeah, we have the UN on our side now, thanks to a lot of hard work.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because, I mean, now we got this little war going on down here. We went on a narco war, if you heard Pompeo or our defense secretary. We got a narco war going on. We're going after all these cartels and stuff. So that's the left hand doing something while the right hand's dealing with COVID-19. So we got a war going on. They named Maduro in Venezuela as some narco terrorist, and they sent a bunch of ships down there. What if they deplete? Okay, we also have a quarantine ship they sent to Guam. That captain that got discharged or whatever because he wanted to dock. They got rid of him, but they sent the ship to Guam for quarantine or whatnot. I mean, what if they send all of our troops out of here and they bring in those blue hats, those guys with the UN on their helmets? And they're generally not from the United States.
Right. They don't know the customs. They don't know what to expect. People from the U.S. are going to be dependent upon their firearms. And so people that come into this country better get used to that.
And you just saw that coming because I exactly said that. So, I mean, I don't think, and I've listened to a lot of videos and whatnot, and who knows how real these are or stuff, but people are kind of panicking and they're talking to the people they know in the military. And these people are saying, we're not going to fire on our own people. So I'm expecting a bunch of deployments. There's got to be a war where we deploy a bunch of people, and then we need the assistance of the UN because they're not going to unlock our society and let us go do what we're supposed to be doing right now. You see what I'm saying? I have a feeling that...
Right on.
You've heard Henry Kissinger said, you know, today in California, if we sent the UN troops in, they'd be all up in arms and stuff. Tomorrow, after an atrocity, they'll be happy to see them.
Exactly. Well, we haven't had any boots on the ground in this country since the revolution. So, United States residents have never seen a war other than on TV, except for our brave troops.
I have a feeling that's going to change, my friend. I really do.
Wow.
I don't know how many more days that people can sit in their house like this, especially gun owners. And I think that's what's going on is people are just amazed that this could even happen. Even the patriots who said, we'll never let anything like this happen. But we don't even know what's really happening right now. We can read through all this. We can get our ideas of what's going on, but we're still kind of going, really? Is this how they're going to do this? And almost, okay, because we've seen a lot of movies, it almost seems surreal, like we're in a movie. You know, and that's probably part of the whole idea of the movies.
Yeah, well, we've seen movies that are almost a blueprint of what's going on.
Absolutely. Containment, pandemic. Yeah, Contagion. There's been a lot of reference to Contagion. And that guy from CNN, he was in the movie Contagion, and then we see him in real life on CNN saying the exact same things he said in that movie in Contagion to, what's that homeboy's name? I always forget his name, the brother. But anyway, I mean, Event 201. And who's really in charge of America right now? It seems like Fauci and Bill Gates are.
Well,
they're calling the shots.
I don't think so. I think they're carrying out the president's wishes, and they're advising him on the state of the country itself and what has to happen. Well, I'd like to finish. Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear about Fauci.
Okay, I was going to say Fauci. He's quoted in the New England Journal of Medicine. He compares COVID-19 all the way with the flu pandemic, all the way down to the point where he says that it's less than 1% of a danger to us. It's no more of a danger to us than the regular influenza epidemic that we have annually. And he said, in parentheses, he said it's less than 0.1% of a death rate and everything. And yet he's up here pushing all of this stuff, telling us that it could be weeks before we get out. And we might not get out until the last person, so we don't have one more case of COVID-19. And his own paper said that it was 0.1%. And you can see that in the New England Journal of Medicine. It's right there. And this is just less than a week ago, like 7 days ago. He wrote that, or at least it was published then. So, I mean, we got to look at this. Sure, there's probably a COVID-19 it's like COVID-18, 17, 16, 15. It's a common cold. And these people somehow, they call it a novel COVID-18 or COVID-19. is novel because they wanted to put a special tip to it, but it's regular, just cold that could turn into the flu. The flu, you have to be injected with it somehow to get the flu. You don't just grab it. There's been many studies where people have coughed in people's faces. They've taken swabs and put it in people's throats and put it in other people's throats, and these people still don't get it. So the flu, influenza, the way they're saying that it can be caught, it simply cannot be caught that way. It's not probable. Do I know this definitively? No, I can't say that. But from the studies I've seen and the people there's several people that signed on to it. Yeah, no, that's not possible. So the way they're saying this is being spread is simply not a possibility. I'm just saying it's a cold. And once your body can no longer take, you got a whole bunch of stuff reacting, these little anomes or whatever that are on your lungs, they finally start to overtake you, boom, you catch what it is they got, and then your body goes into action. In fact, the response, the fever and the coughing and the sneezing stuff, that's your body trying to get rid of it. That's your body getting, if you don't have any symptoms and stuff, then your body's already got it covered.
Okay. So well, thank you very much, Andy. It's great having you.
Have a great night.
Yep. Okay, what Andy's trying to relate here is the fact that what they are doing is they're taking flu deaths and calling them corona deaths. But you see, I'm not in a position to really say that, and I'm not going to say that. What I'm going to say is watch the news closely. Read up on what's going on, and read up on all the backstream news. And you'll get the truth here. If I don't have proof, I won't give it to you. But you will get the truth. All right, just to get back, we have Kentucky residents. They can't travel outside their state. And there are a few exceptions. We have New York City, the epicenter of the COVID-19 outbreak. And they're offering Rikers Island prisoners $6 an hour to help dig mass graves. So what are they trying to create? Who reported that? I wouldn't report that. It's true, so I'm giving it to you. They are not barring cannabis dispensaries, and they call that essential because it's going to keep the lid on a lot of people. So New Jersey's governor canceled gatherings of any number, including parties, weddings, religious ceremonies, and warned the restrictions could continue for weeks or months. One city actually threatened to prosecute residents who spread false information about the virus. Now, this is what I'm going to say. There is something going on that is killing people, whether it's coming from the flu or whether it's coming from COVID-19. That's up to you to look up. Do the research. I have. Oregon has banned all non-essential social and recreational gatherings regardless of size. And then we have Rhode Island has given police the go-ahead to pull over anyone with New York license plates. Okay, folks, we have to go to commercial. Thank you.
How would you like to earn an extra $10,000 or more a month from the comfort of your home? We show you how to win with a home-based business opportunity. This could be one of the best financial decisions you ever make. Work from home, full-time or part-time. Plus, you'll never have to talk to anyone. Our professional sales team closes all your sales for you, and you keep 70% of all the sales made. You could be earning money while you're sleeping, shopping, working out, wherever you are, day or night. Our system goes to work for you. You can make a great income without any special computer skills or sales training. Plus, you get paid fast, within just 24 to 48 hours after our professional sales team closes a sale for you. Let us help you eliminate your financial concerns. You could be earning enough money to pay off debt, buy a house, a car, or whatever the case may be. We've got you covered. If you'd like to add an extra $10,000 or more a month to your portfolio, and you would like to know exactly what we're doing and how we're doing it, go now to www.getstartedwithus.com. That's www.getstartedwithus.com. Again, that's www.getstartedwithus.com.
Homeowners, are you in foreclosure, expecting to be served with a foreclosure lawsuit, or suspect your lender has coerced you into an illegal mortgage transaction? A huge number of mortgages made in the last 10 years have legal issues and are possibly defective. State laws and the U.S. Supreme Court have upheld that defective mortgage documents are grounds for foreclosure defense and for counterclaims in favor of the homeowner. If your mortgage has been sold or assigned since closing the loan, it may be defective, and you may be paying the wrong party, and the lender may not have standing or the right to foreclose or collect payments under the law. If you would like to know if your mortgage is legal or not, or know if you are paying the right party, we can help. Our initial consultations are free of charge. We are not attorneys. We are legal researchers and work closely with experienced lawyers who know how to help you find the evidence to help you keep your home. Call toll-free 1-855-2-KEEP-IT. That's 1-855-2-KEEP-IT today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
When your doctor tells you you have bad cholesterol or blockages in the arteries, what do? When diet and exercise is not enough, we try medications and hope for the best. For the last 2 decades, I have been telling people about a natural method to help solve these problems and more. Extendovite can help maintain cardiovascular health and lower blood lipid levels in adults. The 7 herbs in Extendovite are known to work together synergistically to get the results we hope for. There are many testimonials on Extendovite's effect on circulatory-related ailments. Get Extendovite today to start your journey back to a healthier life. To order, call 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com or see us on amazon.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite. Never tell what you really feel. Teach the children quietly for someday sons and daughters will rise up and fight while we stood still. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running?
Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. Once again, my name is Frank Allen. Well, we are nearing the end of our hour, but in case you've just tuned in, we are talking about 5G, COVID-19, and cyber technology that is used on targeted people or government targets. I hate to use, like I say, the word targeted individual because psychologically it makes you look like you're by yourself. If you'd like to call into the show and get a couple words in, that would be 800-313-9443. Or you can listen at 605-313-0163. And we were just speaking of Rhode Island. That's one state that will not let anyone from New York, if you have a New York plate, you might as well have a target on your back because you'll have to self-quarantine for 14 days. Now, in South Carolina, police have been empowered to break up any public gatherings of more than 3 people. So we have kind of a cross-section of the country here, and there are exceptions to all of these stay-at-home orders. The longest, which runs until June the 10th. Wow. Okay, everyone else will have to fit themselves into a variety of exceptions in order to leave their homes, like for groceries, doctor visits, to get exercise, to visit a family member. Well, this has turned into a national and international nightmare. And I would like to thank my president, Donald Trump, for doing his job. And I would like all of you to be strong and be safe. I don't think there is really anybody that knows the right way to handle this, but I think the best way, stay away from it. Stay home. I'm just getting a lot more research done. But I would like to say God bless you all, and good night from Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Frank Allen.
Corporate media dominates the American opinion. Finding independent voices that counter this avalanche is becoming increasingly difficult. With the endless corruption running rampant throughout our government, independent voices are needed more than ever to battle the offensive against our freedoms and liberties. As a listener of RBN, no one understands this concept better than you. Now it's up to you to do your part. The time has come for you to take action and begin broadcasting the truth to hundreds or thousands of people every month. Sound impossible? Quite the contrary. With pointed slogans from LibertyStickers.com, you can reach countless sleeping Americans unaware that they live in a real-life wonderland. LibertyStickers.com has a huge inventory of political bumper stickers and messages that reflect the truth about our government, our politicians, and the future of America. With so many in stock, there's one perfect for you. Visit us today at LibertyStickers.com. Again, that's LibertyStickers.com. Do your part. Your voice is important. Let it be heard.
This is RBN, the Republic Broadcasting Network.